Okay, in the review packet that I gave you in class for the mid-quarter 3B or 3 test, number 3 is asking you to graph y equals 1 over x minus 3 plus 4. And I'm not asking you to graph that on a graphing calculator. I want to see that you understand those parent graphs that we talked about. So this is also asking you to give the domain and range, which is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to here. So the parent graph for this, and the thing that I think is the most important thing for you to understand on this particular test, what I would love for you to have mastered, is that the parent graph is 1 over x, and that parent graph looks like this. So without graphing any points, I just know that the general shape of this looks like that. And then we talked about making it, and this is y equals, into, and I'm going to forget the a value for now, but I'm going to put a h and k in there. So currently with the red graph that you see up here, notice how h is 0 and k is 0. Okay, because x minus 0 is just x. So the asymptotes, if you remember what that means, are those lines that the graph never crosses, and they happen at x equals 0 and at y equals 0. So remember, this line represents the y equals 0 line, and this line represents the x equals 0 line. So if I have to graph something where I have a minus 3 here and a plus 4 here, the thing that's going to be different about my new graph, so I'm just going to put the regular all right, here's the regular parent graph. What's going to happen to this graph is it's going to move over. So notice how minus 3, x minus 3, that means it's going to move over 3. 1, 2, 3. So instead of this being 0, this asymptote being 0, it's going to be 3. And they're both going to move over 3 like that. But also I have a plus 4 at the end. So it's also going to move up 4. So instead of being at 0, it's going to go up 4, and this is going to go up 4. And now, instead of being 0, so I only went up, okay, y asymptote is going to be at 4. So here y equals 4. Here x equals 3. Those are my asymptotes. That'll never cross. So this is my new graph. And the domain and range. So domain, x could be any real number I see on here except for one thing. It can't be 3. It never equals 3 because it never crosses that. So let's say all reals except 3. And the range, that one, I'm going to look at the y values. I see that can be all real numbers except for 4. And there's my answer to number 3.